All right, guys, we're live. This is HF Pod. We are bringing you a very special draft episode. We are back on our drafting shit, guys. Megan, Brian, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about this?
I'm
Great.
feeling like, when you have like a big test or a big performance, and all day you're just thinking about that performance or that test, and you have kind of like an elevated heart rate, and your stomach is kind of like excited, and you have butterflies. It's embarrassing, but I felt like that all day. So
Wow.
I'm excited to be here and kick this off.
Wow.
I
Brian, what
take
about
these
you?
things really seriously.
I didn't feel any of that today. I was just excited
You
to talk with
didn't?
you guys and talk about some great Phish shows and share some opinions. And I'm just stoked to be here. It's Wednesday. We're 30 minutes early, and we get to hang out. And look, there's a lot of great West Coast Phish shows that we're going to talk about, and there's a great reason why we're talking about these today. We're not just doing a West Coast show draft. We are previewing the spring tour that is upon us in, like, I don't know, a matter of days. What does it launch? The 18th, something like that. I've been so focused on the stock market, I haven't even thought about Phish.
Yeah. Well, the
West
shows
Coast
are going to
Phish.
be raging just like the stock market. We're ready. We're all ready.
That is a bold prediction, RJ. 2 years ago, right around this time, we all met and we asked ourselves, what do we expect from Phish spring tour? And we said, you know what? Phish has a lot to prove because Goose has really taken the mantle. And what did Phish do? They came out and they played a top 25 tour of all time. I put a slight asterisk there because I don't think RJ would agree with that. But Megan and I definitely agree with that. Maybe the last thing Megan and I will agree with all episode is that they played a top 25 tour 2 years ago this month. Unbelievable stuff.
I do agree with that, Brian. A moment of peace before the storm.
What
Yeah,
storm?
I mean,
Ryan Storm?
know.
Are you talking about Ryan Storm still? My goodness.
I don't know why what that that drive by of me was, of me not liking that tour, but I'll let you have it. Whatever you need.
Drive by.
The end of the top 25 tour series was like just 4 months ago. I have vivid memories of our series finale.
God, what a day. Okay. All right. So I want to remind everybody, come out and hang out with us next week at Reprise. Go to repriseband.com for the dates. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be at a couple shows. Megan's going to be at one. So if you are going to go, just go to hang out with Megan. That's what the people want. Okay. Yeah. So is Phish now a spring band?
Well, now it's a good point. 3 years in a row, we've had spring runs. 2 of those were pretty epic. One was okay. Everybody was at one of them and they said it was epic, but we have the tapes. Yeah, I am here for Phish playing spring. I don't know about you guys, but like, we live in very different climates. You guys live on the humid East Coast. I live in the dry interior of the country where it takes decades for culture to reach us. Spring and fall, the elbow seasons, are my favorite seasons to live in right now. It used to be summer. Like when I was a kid, it was summer. Spring in Denver is the only time of year it will be green, the only time of year you get consistent rain. Music sounds better. The windows are open. There's a little bit of like a cool breeze. And to know that every year now we get this like kind of annual tradition of Phish playing 4 to 8 shows, I'm into it. I'm here for it. Megan, do you have any oppositional thoughts? Or are you okay with it too?
I'm very much here for it. It's not a time that I get to go see a lot of shows usually, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping to make West Coast Phish this spring because I have not seen West Coast or really any Phish in the western part of the country since 95. Or sorry, 96. So it's been a while and I really want to get out again, but it's hard with school. So I wasn't able to do it this year, but I'm here for that. I love spring and it's the season of renewal. And I feel like Phish is now, after their Mexico runs, usually really like amped up and ready to play really great shows.
I kind of forgot that Phish played in Mexico a couple months ago. Were those good?
I know.
Did we like them?
They were okay.
Ryan, were they okay? Yeah.
There were some good moments. It wasn't mind blowing, but I don't want to.
Yeah, we
Knowing
don't
what
want to get.
knowing what the cost of those are, it was a great time. It was the best time.
Yep.
As Justin Bruce said, every show is a gift.
Yeah,
Well,
that's definitely your theory, Brian.
I want everyone to know that I'm officially, I'm saying it on the podcast so that I might not be able to back out of it, and because Ryan's watching, I'm officially thinking about going to Goose, Mexico. So I only have
I
a
thought
month
you
to
were
decide.
already considering this.
And then I stopped, and now I'm kind of back because I want to see Eggy, and I want to see We're on Drugs, and I want to see
Oh, yeah.
Dawes, and I guess I'd see Goose too if I'm going. You know, if I'm gonna go all
Officially,
that way to see We're on Drugs, Dawes, Fresco, Eggy, you know, I guess
yikes.
I'd probably stay for Goose.
Ugh, yikes. There's some, wow,
Brian is so jealous you're going to see Frasco.
really jealous. My God.
Uh,
Officially considering thinking about that is like
Yeah.
whenever anyone asks me if I want to do something with them, I'm officially considering thinking about it. That is my answer from now on.
exactly. It's see, you can't hold me to anything.
Uh,
All right, let's do.
I hope you go,
let's-
RJ. It's going to be really
Thank
fun.
you.
You should
It's
go.
gonna be great. Let's do one voicemail, and then we gotta start drafting because
Big day today.
this is just too much.
I know. We just
Um,
got to get going.
Here, let's listen to this one voicemail.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I'm cool. with
Always.
that.
Hey
Bye,
guys, just finished listening to the Life Mount Rushmore episode. Great job. You guys are doing great work. Appreciate it. I was laughing because you guys were talking about being behind the stage for 12/30/18. I was also behind the stage for 12/30/18. Amazing show. The light was great. I think the Everything's Right is probably a contender for Mount Rushmore when you guys get to that. But I also had a funny story, or at least memory, of being given some stuff that night in exchange, and ended up seeing the sunrise for the first time in a while and playing frisbee in the streets of Astoria, Queens at 6:30 in the morning. So that was a fun time. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, I thought he was going to say he got something and also freaked out and thought he was being watched by MSG. So I'm glad he had a better experience.
Yeah.
I just want to comment on word choice because I really appreciate how that caller said, I've got a funny story, and then very quickly change it to memory, because I don't know if it was a funny story, but I can imagine it's a very funny and amazing memory in his own mind. And I have those as well. And I appreciate just like accurate preparation before you deliver it. Because, you know, playing frisbee at 6:30 in the morning on New Year's Eve day in Queens, come on, that's amazing stuff. There's
It
not
is.
really like a story arc there, but like it's a
No.
great memory,
No. But the setting is perfect.
especially after that show. Man,
Yeah. That's a show to stay up all night for.
Okay, guys, Brian, tell us what's going on today. What are we doing, and how are we going to do it, and why are there so many shows to choose from?
there's so many
Thank
shows
you.
to choose from. So we
There
are
were more originally.
Do you want to answer this question, Meg? I'm
No.
happy to
Go ahead, Brian.
yield the floor. So we draft now. That's what we do at this. Pretty soon, I think that when we get through all of our series, this is going to be just a draft show, and we're going to figure out ways to draft everything.
Oh,
But you
God.
know, in the past, we've done tour preview, run preview, venue preview. I mean, we stretched an entire MSG run that did not happen into a month of content. Like, don't underestimate the amount of content we can get out of this crap.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, and I think you guys will all agree, it's fun to prepare for upcoming tours by listening to shows that happened in venues or states or cities or regions where the band is about to play. RJ will say, well, I listened to them once. I don't need to listen to them again. I just know what's good and what's not good. But Megan and I like to do this, and we like to share thoughts and opinions on the podcast. Definitely not in text before the podcast, because that would
No.
give away each other's hand. But what we're going to do today, RJ, perhaps you could share the spreadsheet as a screen so people can see this. We are going to draft 6 shows that we think are the best 6 shows to represent Phish playing on the West Coast. And what that means is we've got 6 categories, but 4 specific categories. All right. So this will all make sense when you see it. Whenever my tech support gets everything up and loaded, we are going to draft Southern California fish. So anything, I think I had it south of San Jose or south of Santa Rosa. I forget exactly where the cutoff line was, but it was somewhere south of San Francisco specifically, because San Francisco is kind of Northern California, kind of Southern California. It's a complicated thing.
Yeah, I have
Northern
some issues.
California.
I actually have some issues with the regions, but let's just not dwell on that at the moment.
Damn, I wish you would have said that in the
I know.
months leading up to us actually.
So I just
going
figured it'd be
live.
better to just wait until today. Go, please proceed.
Northern California. So anything north of let's go with Santa Rosa. I had it very specific at one point. Oregon as a whole concept, a whole state, a whole idea of being for fish. Washington, the state of, not the president, though we may be referring to our first president. Who knows? We'll see. And then because we can't just do 4 rounds and do everybody picks 12 shows, we've got to have a 1.0 wild card, which means you can pick any show that happened in 1.0 regardless of the region, and then a 2.0 to 4.0 wild card, any show that happened in any region as long as it happened within the 2.0, 3.0, or 4.0 time frame. This will give us 18 shows. You guys have like 9 days to prepare for spring tour. If you're like, hey, what do I listen to get in that vibe of what it's like to see fish in Northern California or in Oregon in the springtime, baby, we got that for you. That's what we're here for. That's what's happening. Is it going to be competitive today? I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot of great stuff here. I don't think anyone can make a bad call unless they make a bad call. So I'm excited to see what happens. You guys have anything else you want to say about this to prepare us? Anything you want to change last minute, RJ?
Well, I just want to say that I think there was a show there was Santa Cruz, I think, was not included in Northern California for some reason. Is that right? There was some minor show that was right in between. I think it might have been 4/19/92 that was not included. I think it was
But
at the
there were
Catalyst in
some.
Santa Cruz.
There were some. Is it higher than? Didn't we have a cutoff for?
Thank
the
you, Meg.
reading?
Thank you, Meg. Thank you, Meg. Very helpful. This is the second helpful thing you've done this episode, maybe the last.
Are you talking about the
yes.
four? I'm
Wow.
talking about the 4.3 rated 4/19/92 show. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
That show should be here. Is that what you're saying?
It should, but I don't. But now I should have just not brought it up. So let's pretend I didn't.
4/19/92.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly pull this up. Hold your horses here.
I also want to just say for people who are listening, if you go to osirispod.com/draft, as we mentioned last week, you can look at all the shows that there are available to draft from. So if you want to follow along that way, hopefully you've already listened to all of them like we have.
The list, when I saw how many shows were in Northern California, I almost died. Almost
Wow.
died.
Did you?
Yeah. I think I texted you both.
Oh,
I
man.
almost died.
All right. So, and Santa Cruz, correct me if I'm wrong, that is in Northern California.
I would argue that it is. It's, it's an hour and a half from San Francisco. It's above I would say like the San Luis Obispo is sort of like the dividing line between Northern California and Southern California. So I would argue that it is in Northern California. And
Got it.
Santa Cruz is,
Well,
have you guys been to Santa Cruz?
No, I've never been.
I've been to Santa Rosa, not Santa Cruz.
Yeah. I mean, Santa Cruz is amazing. It's so weird. It's such a bizarre, awesome place. It's like a lot of lost hippies and also like cool downtown, but it's also on the ocean, right? Kind of right in between the Redwood State Park and Monterey.
Oh my God. I love California so much.
For the record, we have updated the draft chart to reflect that Santa Cruz is in Northern California. I hope that there are no other Santa Cruz shows that I'm not thinking of right now. And I also hope, RJ, that you decide to take that show now, because like you just put us through all this hassle for
Seriously.
past
You better.
accuracy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
all
I
right.
hope you guys recover from this. It seems like it's been really hard for everybody.
Literally,
okay.
all I do is just update little cells in spreadsheets all day. So it's just, same old, same old.
Lumen.
All right. What I need
All
you
right.
guys to do is
Mhm.
pick a number between 1 and 6. I'm going to go first because it's only fair. I'm going to pick 4.
Yeah. It's true.
I thought the reigning champion went first, but it's all good.
In terms of the draft order or in terms of picking a
In
number?
terms of picking the number.
Okay, then
doesn't matter.
scratch. Then scratch
no.
4. You go
You have
first, Mike.
4.
You are
No, you
I'm
have
you are
just
the winner.
fucking with you.
No, you already have 4.
You already
already
have
have
it.
4.
Too bad.
It's
I
already yours.
always take
Okay.
2, so I'm taking 2.
Okay.
What is it between 1 and what?
1 and 6.
6.
It's a dice.
4, 2, 4,
Usually have
6.
6 sides.
6.
You're
I don't
gonna-
know.
you're gonna
Jonathan
use
used
6?
his 20-sided thing once or something. So I don't like.
He
How do I
did.
know?
Yeah,
You
he
probably have
did.
a bunch
It
of
was like a
weird.
Dungeons and Dragon dice.
Yeah, you probably have
I
a bunch
can-
of weird dice. To be
I
honest,
can use a 20-sided dice if you want. Do you
Exactly.
guys want to go to 20?
No,
No,
I want to
don't.
go. I want to start drafting.
Okay. Closest without going over. The first pick goes to. Gonna roll again. My goodness. First pick goes to me. It's 4. We rolled 2 1s. I should have
Yep.
given you more context there,
Okay.
but second pick goes to Megan. And the third pick goes to RJ.
Great.
All
I
right.
never get the turn. That sucks.
Yeah, it really does.
The worst spot.
All right. I was kind of dreading the first pick because it's like setting the tone. And like if you don't take something really, really big right up front, you're kind of fucked. But you know what? Who's
Yeah.
fun? We're hanging out. We're just
Yeah.
like it's a Wednesday.
All right,
night.
this is a
it's
hard
just
one.
fun.
We're all killing it together. All right. So I'm going to talk you guys through this right now. What I'm thinking, and I want to get your thoughts. I tend to go for the best show in the weakest category first.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that the best show in the weakest category is necessarily so great that is going to outweigh anything further I do. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm thinking about taking a really strong pick in a relatively strong category. Humor me for a second. What would you do, Meg?
Well, I have played drafts both ways, and maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but I have found that playing strategically, picking the best in the weakest category has not led me where I want it to go. Because I think sometimes you end up building up the category that nobody really fucking cares about, and you lose like the best one that you wanted.
Like when
strong-
you have the best of Albany?
Exactly. I think you and I both played that one totally wrong. So that would be my advice is to
Was this meant to be a text message? I'm just curious. Don't fall for it, Megan. He wants revenge for the Victor disc. That's crazy.
I know he really does.
I don't have
Snap
anyone
over it.
helping me here. All right. I'm gonna then I think
Please
that's a good call. I think
take
that's a
that
good call,
slander
man.
out of your mouth.
Yeah, you gotta. Okay, go, Brian. Pick.
It's a good call. I'm just trying to think here.
And that's also the last time I'm going to give you advice in this draft because you keep accusing me of getting help.
I think that this draft, while Brian's thinking about his pick, I think this draft is hard. I think this is the hardest draft we've had because I think that there are probably maybe 50 total
Hardest?
shows across this 4 areas that are kind of all similar in terms of rating and overall like.
But does that make it harder or easier? Like it's almost like harder to win because it's so based on personal preference. Like to me, this reminded me more of the movie drafts from Big Picture that Brian got this idea from originally because there's so many movies that come out and they're all so diverse. I feel like this, whereas in like the studio album draft or the best years of Phish, there's a clear winner sometimes.
I guess
and
it
in
depends
this,
which.
I think,
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think
Like-
it could be either, but I think there's like I think they're like, yeah, it's basically like a huge pool of almost equally good shows. That's the way I look at
I
it.
agree.
I agree.
So I'm just going to get this going.
Yep.
I will take any all accusations for what I'm about to pick. I don't
Good.
care. This is an amazing show. Every time I listen back to it, I get chills. I was there. I was on the rail. I was
Oh,
front
yeah.
row, right in
Oh,
front of
Yeah.
the band.
I know where we're
So
going.
the attendance
Yeah.
bias is there. This is Southern California. This is Chula Vista, 10/23/21. When I listen back through the Southern California category, I was shocked at how this just rose to the top for me above a ton of excellent early 90s, mid 90s shows, late 90s shows. I mean, there's a ton of great stuff in Southern California. Phish. But I got to go with my heart and my gut here. So I'm going 10/23/21 Southern California, 4.0 for the win. The jamming is just better, guys. Come on. Meg, you're up.
It's pretty good.
That Chula Piper, my gosh.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like that comes so late in the show and it's just like, oh my God, we have this now? Oh my God.
I listened to that the other day and I was like, that jam, my gosh. 4.0 is so good. It's challenging in this draft because you're putting years up against each other that are just so different, and 4.0
Right.
is just so good. Okay, I'm picking something that I think Brian's probably going to call me a pop song for picking this. And maybe it's super basic and maybe it's just so on the nose for me. But this
Do it.
is my shit and I have to have it. I have to have 73097. I have to have Ventura because this obviously everybody comes for the Bowie City's Bowie, and it's amazing. It's perfect. I love that fucking jam. It's so effortless and intentional at the same time. It's so good. But the rest of the show is awesome too. You have like this killer Wolfman's in the first set. It's so confident. It's got that relaxed funk, effortlessly sultry, killer chalk dust early in the show. The stash is like jazzy and breathy, killer peak. And then that punch you in the eye that opens the set too is just, there is just nothing that hits like a 97 punch you. And of course, the Bowie's City's Bowie is just so great. So I had to have this on my list, even if it's obvious.
Nothing obvious about it. It's called a good pick, Megan. That's what it's called.
Thanks.
Good pick.
That's what they call it.
Thanks.
I'm happy
All
you
right.
got that. That's summer 97. That's your vibe.
That's my shit.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep it rolling here. We're going in order of picking and of region. So I have to pick from Southern California as well, per the draft rules. So I'll just do that.
It's not a draft rule. We're not going like one by.
No, I'm just saying.
I can't wait to see what you pick.
I'll tell you that.
I know where
I'll
he's
tell you. I
going.
told you guys earlier. What?
I know
You
where
know
you're going.
Yeah.
You think you know?
I know exactly where you're going.
Do you? You think so?
I do. Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's gonna be a great pick.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay.
I think you're probably right. I told you guys earlier this week that I'm only drafting shows that bring me pure joy, and
Yep.
that's it. That's my whole entire.
That's the
I
strategy.
love
That's my whole
that.
entire strategy for today. So I am taking 41692
I knew it.
because it's, first of all, it was memorialized in the Follow Me to Gamehenge bootleg CD, which came out in 1994 in Italy, which made its way to the US. But this wasn't just an indispensable tape. It was part of the fucking gospel in the early
Yep.
90s. If
Yep.
you didn't have this tape, you weren't part of it. Sorry. And every time I hear it, it fills me with an enormous amount of joy. And Mike's bass is so pronounced, and it's such a tight show. The possum is really good, and once you listen back to it, which I did this week, and you realize that like the possum is amazing right after the Buried Alive, and then the Its Eyes right after that. I mean, it never stops the entire time, and I don't know, the Mockingbird, the Iculus, the rocks, boulders. I mean, you're in a classic Phish show, just right in the middle of it the whole time. So that's what
This
I'm
is my
thinking.
favorite jam from that whole tour. That Mike's fucking groove is so good.
It's really good. It's really good. That the whole tour is just incredible, and I'm gonna consider not just picking shows from that tour, although I might, which I think could be kind of fun.
April
You have anything
'92
to
is
say,
so
Brian?
special. Yeah,
So
a
good.
lot. Yeah, that's you're. It's the perfect first pick for you. That is an era. That is a vibe that screams RJB. Um, the fact that they combine Forbins and Iculus,
Yeah.
I don't think that that's ever happened again. Someone's gonna come at me and be like, "Bro, you're at a Phish podcast. You don't know about the other 3 times that it happened." But like, I am blanking right now on Forbins and Iculus being combined. So special. The pictures from this show are unbelievable. I don't have any understanding. I get that we're putting Cypress on ice. Sure, whatever. Fine. I don't understand why we don't have an April '92 box set. I don't understand at all. It makes 0 sense to me. Educate your fans. Like, most people are not going back to listen to this stuff, and they should. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't make any sense. But
None.
you know, we could spend all day wondering why. Why, Kevin? Why? All right.
Why?
Why? All
Why?
right, guys.
The eternal
Nice.
question.
So I got the pick. I got the pick on the turn. You guys ready?
You got the pick on the turn.
Yeah, let's
Um,
go.
Okay, my second pick. I'm gonna pick the by far the best show they've ever played in the state of Washington, without a question. Commemorated by our friends at Phish as part of the Gorge '98 box set, 7/17/98.
So
Great
good.
call.
Not just a 4-song second set with a character 0 that doesn't really matter. So you really have a 3-song second set with an unfinished Weekapog that is just amazing. The 2001 I will say is like, it's really half kind of them fucking around, but half of it is just awesome. And the mics is really great. And then the way you start on that show with the Makasupa into like a really good Yamar, and then a really jammed out Gumbo. It's just takes me back. What a great summer. What a great fucking show. God,
I
Love
love
it.
that show. So good.
I've listened to that second set a lot of late, for more reasons than one, and it just holds up. It is kind of the ideal 4-song second set. I know you say like the character 0, whatever, but like character 0 was closing out so many sets during that period in time. It does kind of work, but the way that they get into that just beautiful bliss zone in the mics blows me away every time. The first set, not the greatest on paper, but I think has exceptional flow. Like, I think it's one of
Yeah.
those shows you press play on Makasupa and you don't let up because the flow is just ever present there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Mike's is so good.
Despite a My Soul closer even. So,
That way.
you know,
Yeah,
was-
exactly.
still makes
it still is good.
it's still good.
That was my number 1 in the Washington region as well.
Yeah,
That's
me
a
too.
very, very good pick. Good stuff, RJ.
Thanks, guys. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, you should
What
be
a-
proud of yourself.
What a supportive environment.
I mean, we are. I think at
we
the end
are.
of the day, we're really supportive and loving and caring here. We just want everyone to get the shows that make them happy.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, Megan, you're up again.
It's my turn.
Meg's turn.
Megan, do you have time? Do you need time to think, or are you ready? Because if
No,
you're not
I'm-
ready, I'll ask Brian a question.
I'm actually ready, but I want to just
Okay.
explain my thinking here because
Okay.
I'm torn between 2 shows and they're in the same category. And this is, the second pick is tough because it really defines where your draft goes. But I have 2 shows in this category that I think are kind of even for me. And I think I'm just going to go with the one that I love the best, even though I think there's a jam that's better in the other one. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm going to pick this, and I don't know if you guys will think this is the right pick, but I do. The show has massive flow, and it has one of my favorite moments that's just totally shocking and surprising and beautiful. I'm going to pick the 7/15/98 from Portland.
Mm.
because it is a great Wolfman's to open, but then this horn into the Portland Jam. This is why I go see Phish. It's just a 10-minute jam, but it's off of one of Phish's most poetic and evocative songs. It's a personal favorite of mine. And the ambient jam that comes out of it is just, it's so special and awesome and unexpected. And when Phish drops something like this in a first set, like that's a moment. I love The Birds is good in the first set. The second set also has this like great Limb by Limb, which has this really soft, like ambient jam, and the way that Simple emerges out of it in this unhurried way. And then Simple melts, and Tweezer creeps out. And I love this Tweezer jam. It's so cool. It's so relaxed. The California Love in there. And there's a Killer Free in this set too. And then you have the encore that's just the Wilson reprise, which it's just a solid way to encore. So even though this doesn't include the Riverport Gin, which would be sick, as the filler on it, I'm still drafting this show.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great call. This is, again, that jam, when it gets into the California Love section, is just, it's pretty magical. And that part of the first set that you were describing is really, really awesome. Good. It's a good pick. It's a great tour. I already picked one show from that tour. I'd pick all the shows from that tour if I could.
I know. It's such a good tour.
Maybe we'll draft Trey Tones at some point and we can all fight over Summer 98, because that is
totally
my favorite. It's a nice show.
Yeah.
It's a nice show.
I knew Brian wouldn't be into it. I actually, the one that I didn't take is one that I think you're going to draft in that category. So you're welcome.
We'll see where things go. I got to figure this
will.
out now. All right, I have 2 picks, unless anyone has anything else they want to say about 71598 or the Riverport Gin.
No, I would just say that it still doesn't make sense that they played California Love in Oregon. That's all.
It does not, but it's Summer 98, baby. Anything goes.
I got a comment on our chat right now. We've got all of our favorites, all of our regulars in here, and we've got people figuring out exactly how do we say each other's names. We got ECW asking EV Dude if it's E period V period Dude or E lowercase V Dude. Really appreciate everyone getting to know each other during this draft. See, we're all sharing in love, you know?
Yeah.
That's all that this is about. It's sharing in the groove, baby. Come on.
It is. Very much so.
His name is Evan, so we're gonna have to call him Evan now.
We've learned so much today. Ev dude.
Ev dude. All right. So I got 2 picks here. Ooh, I could do some damage. Okay, I know what I'm doing.
Let's hear it.
I am going to Northern California, which rises above is it the 49th parallel? Is it the 37th, RJ? Where does Northern California begin and Southern California end? Is it where the board shorts turn into like tight wash jeans? Like what happens?
Well, if you really want to know, I would say that the beginning of Northern California is probably at right where the Central Valley of California ends. So,
which is like Sacramento.
No. Fresno, Madera, San Luis Obispo, like that's the before it gets into, you know, the Monterey and the Big Sur and like the hills there. It's more like it's more farmland, you know, and then it starts to get toward Northern California, and that's kind of the cutoff there at the beginning of that range. That would be my argument.
Monterey is Northern California. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely got more. My car broke down once in Monterey, Labor Day 2010, and got treated really nicely by an auto mechanic. It's my one memory of Monterey, California. If it had happened in Southern California, I would have been screwed.
Not like the coastline or like the seals or like anything about Monterey Bay. None of that. Just a nice mechanic.
Great. How often do you meet a nice mechanic who's like, yeah, I'll take you in on a federal holiday and I'll do work on your car? Are you kidding me? Come on.
All right. All right.
We're going to go to way Northern California. I spent the fall of 2012 trimming weed in where was it? Laytonville. So that's Mendocino County.
Mhm.
And we went to like a Halloween party up in Humboldt, which was crazy, at this like giant warehouse where there were just like vats full of drugs. And saw just like some no-name funk band that I had the greatest time in the world at. And I remember being up there and on multiple substances at the same time. This is like pre-children me, so like I could do anything.
You're just making that disclaimer.
And I remember being like, wow, Phish played here when they were my age, like 20 years ago at the time. And I totally get why this whole area seeped into their bloodstream and into their brains. And so I am going to go with a show that is
Don't do it.
He's gonna do it.
Not even a week following what RJ took. One of the
Don't do it.
I
It's
thought
not
you
that good,
were
Brian.
gonna take this First, RJ. I thought you were going to take this first.
Oh
It's
no, I
not
knew what
that
he was
good of a
taking
show.
first. It's not that good of a
Brian.
show. You're right. It's not filled with like druggy weirdness. It doesn't have the first great tweezer. 42192 from Eureka, California. Absolutely
really mad.
amazing show. Good. Incredible Trey riff. that
Really,
just,
really
like,
wanted the show.
goes in between bliss and weirdness and bizarre playing and oh my god, just like mind-blowing, mind-melting stuff. Some of my favorite early Phish ever, and really the show where you, like this and 416 you can see is kind of this demarcation of like, we don't just write complex really cool songs, we don't just tell jokes, we also have these like mind-altering musical excursions that allow us to like take this next step forward as a band, which we would hear over the next couple of years. Learn more about this during our top 25 tours episode where we covered Spring 92. I think it was in the 20s. Amazing stuff. I'm seeing some, what's number one in that category for me? You know what? Northern California is the most stacked category. I wanted something earlier to complement my later picks as well. Had a couple other options I could have gone with here in Northern California since it was wide open, but I feel really good about this. I'm really pleased with being able to capture this show at this point in time. You guys have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I really wanted this show.
Did you?
It's so sick. Yeah, it's so sick. The show is just amazing. I remember when we talked about this tour, and this is my favorite show from that tour.
I think it's probably one of the most memorable riffs of in Phish history. That tweezer. I mean,
Yeah.
just really wonderful. Better
This is
than
also
that, it's good.
better than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is also my mom's 39th birthday, which, you know, is probably the thing that pushed it over the top for me.
Good. Well, happy birthday to your mom from 1992.
From 1992.
All right, so I have one more pick. My God. What
Oh,
am I
no.
What am I going to do?
Great.
here?
So
I don't
great.
know what to do. All
Ugh,
right.
I feel like I know what you're going to do.
Do you? I don't know what to do now.
Really?
All right, so I'm in between. I gotta think about this. You gotta fill some dead air here, RJ. Ask Megan some trivia.
Megan, what do you think is what do you think is the hardest thing about this particular draft?
Well, I think what's the most challenging is that you're kind of constantly coming up against your preference and what is the best show. And also, a lot of these shows have one jam that is so fucking good, but you're drafting the whole show. And so I'm often coming up against like, do I want to pick the show with the killer jam? Or do I want to pick the show that's better as the show? And I think sometimes that's hard to do. And I think the strategy is challenging because the categories are stacked, but then there are also, I think, probably 2 that are like the best out of each category.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 and there's kind of a step down.
I really wonder if ECW here is making like a deep-seated jab at me, but I agree with you right here.
I don't think it's that deep seated. I think it's
without the
Or-
sarcasm,
Or it's just very genuine, enthusiasm.
that's what I'm
for
wondering.
something.
If it's genuine enthusiasm, I'm there for it. I had a great conversation with friend of the pod, Ben Greenfield, where I told him your guys' opinions on Caswell Vox, and he thought you guys were insane. So
That's great.
there's now apparently 3 of us in the world. We're not even to the Tobias
Exactly.
Bluth, like there are dozens of us, dozens. All right, I've made my pick. I looked at
All
the
right.
set list and I was like,
Let's go.
oh yeah. So something really big happened to me during the RJ laughs because I'm preparing a thesis statement right now. During the top 25 tours, you guys know this. Something very big happened to me. I was converted. It was as if I was dipped in the waters of a tour, and was living there for a period in time, and came out a new man. And I'm going to go forward with a strategy that is very different from what I've done in past drafts. I feel good about it right now. I'm going to go with the Washington category here, and I'm going to go with 11:30:94 from Olympia. Let me just read this set list to you guys, because like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Frankenstein, Poor Heart, My Friend, Reba, Colonel Forbins, Fly Famous Mockingbird, Vibration of Life, Fly Famous Mockingbird, Down Disease, Bouncing Around the Room, and Blooming Lonesome, and My Long Journey Home. And then the second set, this is our category of Brian just reads words on a page, which we should probably get sponsorship for, I guess. But the second set, guys, Haley's Antelope into My Sweet One, an 11-minute jammed out My Sweet One, back in Antelope, into Fixin' to Die, into Yamar, into Mike's Song, Catapult, McGrupp, Cavern. I mean, come on. What is going on here? We are going 11:30:94 for the Washington category here. You okay?
No, I was literally okay. Now I'm going to accuse Ryan Storm of telling you my picks because I literally was talking to him about this show today and telling him how fucking excited I was to draft this show because that jam, that Antelope, My Sweet One, Fixin' to Die is so fucking cool. It's the coolest shit on this whole fucking list. It is like the moment of like Phish being able to do anything, just anything. When you put a bluegrass tune in the middle of Antelope that goes into Fixin' to Die, I didn't pick this early because I thought it was a little bit slept on, and now I'm really, really pissed.
Well,
this is payback. I feel like I'm having like a karmic retribution moment, and it sucks.
Well, you guys, let's just take a step back here.
I got 3 picks left. I'm not calling shots at this point. I'm just picking great shows. I'm sorry.
Let's take a quick step back here, guys. This is by far one of the best shows in that category, maybe the second best after the one that I already picked. So we're not like talking about, we're not in like, mining a diamond here. We're like, you're talking about a show that is celebrated,
officially released.
I know. I'm not saying it's a diamond. I'm just saying that I didn't. I know.
Diamond
I just
in the
didn't.
rough.
I'm not saying it's a diamond in the rough. Yeah.
But
I mean, it's no Victor disc. I'll tell you that much. But it is, it's
also
it's
not a diamond in the rough. Very, very common. Very, very common for Phish fans to understand what Victor disc is. I want to go back to this.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I didn't hear about it from Ryan Storm like Brian has accused me of, which is ridiculous because I just want to say, Brian, I never ever accuse you of being like a new fan or pull that like noob shit. I just don't believe in that. But I was a fan before Ryan was even born. And to say that I learned about the Victor disc from him is so offensive. Okay, I'm not over it.
I just can't believe that you didn't pull the card that you were seeing Phish shows while Brian was in elementary school, you know?
Because I'm not
Or
like
maybe-
that. I actually
'cause
don't think that that's
I-
like matters.
I
Yeah,
pulled
but it's
that
funny.
card more than anyone. It's
We
a
know.
defensive move. Yeah.
You could also say that you were seeing The Dead when Brian was in elementary school. Are you kidding me? That's
I
like
never
know.
seen
ridiculous.
The Dead.
I don't pull. Listen, I'm not trying to like flaunt my vet stats, but I have them. But I am saying that like to accuse me of that is something I'm not going to get over. And now I'm really mad about this too.
Okay, so can we just say one? Can I say one thing, Brian? One actual comment.
Could I just say we have voter fraud already right here? We're all still voting for Megan. It makes the most fun pod. Like
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
can't actually win this. I'm just here for the shows I like. I'm sorry that
Fine.
I got a show you also happen to enjoy.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
Don't worry
true.
about it.
Still gonna
It's
win.
not
You're gonna
about
be
winning.
okay. Everything's
It's
gonna
not
be
about
okay.
winning. It's about entertainment. I'm just here to entertain people. So you know,
Same. Totally.
Um,
Same.
I
100%.
would say that
Yeah,
Brian,
right, Brian. You're right.
the '94 fall tour was ranked number 3 by us and number 5 by fans, and I think we all agreed at the end of that project that it easily could have been the number 1. Like it could have been number 1. I
Yeah,
could have
yeah,
made the
for
argument
sure.
for it being number 1.
For sure.
Like
For sure. I think it was number 2, but yeah.
those three.
Actually, three.
Any of those 3 could have been the top, I think. In after we got through it. I'm just saying it's a great tour. Amazing tour. Okay.
Yes.
We're on to Meg.
Incredible tour. Meg, it's your call.
Yeah, I know. I have to do some strategy. You guys have to talk for a minute because I'm like a little bit shook right now.
Brian,
RJ.
was there anything you found difficult about this draft in terms of how you were prepping or how you were trying to think about it?
No, I mean, I think that it is like we have the same amount of shows that we had for like the versions of Tweezer that we did, or the top 25 jam, or the 25 plus minute jams. So there's like a large quantity, but I do feel like if we're being honest, there's really, really good high bar West Coast Phish, and then there's pretty average West Coast Phish. And I think we've all seen and heard what both of those sound like. And so the most challenging part of this was determining, okay, where are the best shows at? And I think once you got a list of really strong shows, which I made a personal list of 25 shows I thought I'd be very happy drafting and I would not regret in any sort of way whatsoever. I think that there were probably 10 to 15 other shows I could have thrown on there. I just wanted to kind of like reduce this down for focus. Once you got there, it's really about preference, I think, at that point in time. For me, 10, 23, 21, that is my show. There's never been a Phish show I've ever seen that has felt more like Phish is playing a show for me in the moment. 42192, formative stuff. 113094, another like realization in the last year that fall 94 is maybe the greatest Phish of all time. So I think as long as you go with your heart and your soul here, you're in a good spot, right, Meg?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Do you?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm really torn between not screwing myself in one category. I think not having the turn makes a big difference in these drafts. I'm just going to say that.
So if RJ
Okay.
or I win, is there an asterisk because you were in the middle?
Oh no, I'm actually a really gracious loser. I'm fine. I don't like it. I really fucking hate it, but I am okay. I'm definitely happy for the person that won, and I don't get mad at them.
I just live by Hannah Hidalgo's mantra. I hate losing more
that?
than I enjoy winning.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, I'm ready. So I'm choosing in Northern California, and I'm choosing a show that has what I think is one of the best jams of the entire tour, and maybe the greatest encore of all time, definitely up there. I'm going to pick 10, 16, 21 from the Chase Center because
Great pick.
I got to have that fucking Carini. I gotta have it.
Great pick.
I listened to it again about an hour ago, and that jam is fucking crazy. Like, it is so incredible. And the fact that they played that in Encore.
Megan, why don't you tell me and Brian and I both about that show? Because we were both there. So why don't you tell us how crazy it was?
You tell us.
Well, I can't because I didn't get to draft it. So,
well, listen, I wasn't going to draft it, but I decided that I had to take the gloves off to have some sort of attempt to compete. You guys have really strong lists, and I was gonna leave the Chula show and the Chase show on the table for you both. But I just couldn't do it anymore. I was going to lose. I was going to lose if I did. So
I think if we get into the third round and someone hasn't picked a show that they love, that's on them. No offense, RJ.
It's actually technically the second, isn't it? Or is it the third? You mean third pick?
It's Megan's third pick.
My third pick. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is
I haven't picked since last year, as far as I can tell. I've been just sitting here listening to you guys for.
You get 2 picks
God
next,
knows how long.
so you're good.
We'll see if we ever get there.
You're gonna
this
win.
is the same move that RJ employed when he took the $725.99 Deer Creek show for that. It was like third or fourth round. I hadn't taken it yet. That's a perfectly applicable time. I totally get it. I think this is the right call, Meg.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think that Northern California I thought was the most stacked category of the entire draft. Not just the quantity of shows, but like the high quality of shows. They just love San Francisco. They love this region. This show was magical. It's the only time I've ever seen RJ smile during Possum. My entire brain was removed from my head, and it was incredible inside of that venue that evening. I was blown away, and then afterwards I tried to get RJ to podcast live about it, but instead he decided to walk us back 4.5 miles from the Chase Center to our hotel, and every 10 minutes went, I'm pretty sure our hotel is right around the corner here. I used to live in San Francisco. I know the city really well. I'm pretty sure our hotel is right around the corner.
But
you can't trust RJ post show. You can't.
You can't.
We did stop and meet Benji. We had a drink. I had a drink for sure. Okay.
I have a question for you too about this. This is sort of a tangent, but I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Which jam do you like better, Carini from this night or Set Your Soul Free from the next?
I think ultimately the Carini because of the placement and Paige's synthesizers, but that is like the riff in Set Your Soul Free is one of my favorite things that has happened since they came back from post-pandemic. The riff that Trey finds and the way he messes with it with his effects. But I think that the Carini, like when they started playing that, the place lost its mind. The synthesizers that Paige uses midway through
are insane.
Oh my God.
It's so dramatic. It's so fucking
the lights just like hanging everywhere. Yeah, I think I'd have to go with the Carini and probably give it a hashtag attendance bias.
Yeah, I agree.
You do too? Yeah. I like it better, but I feel like I might be in the minority. So I wanted to hear what you think.
I just want to address really quick before RJ goes. We have a listener question. Any Vancouver shows? No, not because we are trying to, push out Canadian shows, but simply because they're not playing Vancouver on this tour. We went with, they're playing Washington, Oregon, and California. So we just focused on that. But that could be a fun, I don't know how many shows they've played in Canada. I wonder if we could draft them all. Is that possible? I don't think so. I think there's been like 8.
Yeah. I'm so nervous about waiting all the way until my next choice.
Well,
RJ, is it your turn?
It's my turn. Before I do that, we'll take a break and then we'll come back and I will bring us to a thrilling conclusion of my next picks. All right. So I could have, besides the 2.0 to 4.0 wildcard, I could have a spring 92 like picks across all 4 categories and be extremely happy and satisfied.
Hell yeah.
And I think it would be
so good.
I think it'd be reasonable and smart. But I don't know. I don't think I can do that right now for a variety of reasons. So this is a hard one. hold on. Let me I'm gonna
I just
check
wanna
something.
comment that Justin Bruce is trying to turn this into a Vancouver podcast now. The 999 tweezer, that is some killer stuff. Great recommendation for people to listen to. Meg, where you're at right now, and I'm just going to fill some time, RJ. You just interrupt us whenever you're ready to go. With 3 picks, which one of these shows do you wish that you had seen live?
No, 7/30/97. No question.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that tour was like, I saw those 3 opening shows of that tour, and I don't think I've ever seen 3 shows where I felt more excited to be in the audience. It was just so electric. And Summer 97, there was just something so lit up about it. And I would have loved to see Phish that summer on the West Coast, but I'd already moved back on the East Coast. And so I had seen a lot of Phish out West in 95 and 96, but never again. But I really wish I'd been at that show. But I also really would have loved to have been at that Chase Center show too, because I am down for encores. I like encores. Unlike you guys, unlike RJ especially. But
If they're
a
good,
killer encore like that, God, the crowd roar after that is so crazy.
I have no problem with them if they're good.
I just remember RJ wore a COVID-19 mask to that show, and so the only thing you could see were his eyes. And he also requires an exceptional amount of space in a show because his arms, if you've ever seen RJ in person, it's all arms, like they're
You and me
everywhere.
both, RJ.
And
Wait, can I say something about RJ's arms really quickly, Brian? I was with
Sure.
RJ not too long ago, and we were sitting at a bar, and there was a coat rack behind us on the wall, and RJ didn't even have to move his body to hang up
No.
his coat on a coat rack. That was like on a different side of the room. I was like, what is happening?
This happens.
You really wonder what the tailoring process is like, because he looks good in a suit. Like what does he have to go through? But so he had to be in the aisle because he couldn't be in our section, of course.
Yeah,
like there was no
seats
way.
are not a thing.
Seats are not good for me either.
And we had very nice seats, as Ferris Bueller would say. They were so choice. And I was
choice.
like, I'm not losing this spot. Like this is incredible. We were like, just, it was, that friends and family, like right on, could see everything. Nobody protruding, no crazy wooks in my way with like sparkly crap and like light up stuff. It was just like me and Phish right there. And they did a lot of cool shit that show. The whole show was just like one great thing after another. And he just kept turning around to me, and like you couldn't see his mouth or his nose, you just saw his eyes. And every time he turned around, it was just like these bug eyes that looked at you, just like.
Yeah.
And I have that memory in my head of the entire show, that every time Phish did something great, I looked over at him and his eyes just got really big, and I was like, yep, he's feeling it too.
That's so awesome.
I hope
All right.
No.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for that. That was
This is now
like
a 10,
annoying.
16, 21 podcast.
It's annoying when we had to wear masks. I was like weird.
It was.
Oh, I
Weird and
hated
dumb.
that so much.
It was weird and dumb. Okay. So okay. This is tough. But I think I know what I'm gonna do here. But I do have 2 picks, so that's
Does it go back to me after you?
Yeah, he has 2 picks than you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you guys have 3 picks before I get to go again. I'm
As
just
long
like
as-
sitting over here.
so stressful. As long as you don't. Okay, RJ.
I don't
Are
know
you
what
ready,
stress
RJ?
is.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a show that is as close to the Boise bag as I could possibly get without being there, because musically and on the
Hell
calendar.
yeah.
Good job. Good pick.
So-
Love this show.
I'm gonna take 9/12/99 from Portland.
Great pick.
Yeah.
The Ghost is, it has pieces of the Boise
yeah.
bag,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
five song second set. They, it's like this tour is, there's like Mozambique in the first set. So you feel this late 90s vibe. Like the 99 vibe is great, post Trey Trey Trio. Was it a Trey Trio that played that spring?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like he was bringing these songs, bringing the energy. I love this show. I like this tour a lot. So I'm going to take that with this pick.
Even a good Rogue in that show.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a very good show.
I love that show.
I'm leaving a couple things.
Really
on the
good
table,
gin
but
in
that's
the
what we
first
have to
set.
do. Yeah, really good,
gin.
really good bathtub gin. I want to go back and listen to the show again. So that's why I wanted to pick it. So I will keep listening to it. All right. So now I have only Northern California. I think Northern California is the hardest because of what we were talking about, but maybe it's the easiest because there are so many options. I'm pretty torn here. I could take another Spring 92 show because there's so many, but probably won't because I just don't think it's the right move. I have a couple possibilities here, but I don't think that I can pass up what ended up being one of the most interesting shows they've ever played after moving the venue the day
Great
before
call.
Yeah.
and playing, I think, maybe one of the longest jams of all time.
It's like
It's
I think the third longest jam.
Third.
That's not a secret set.
I mean, for
Great
those
call.
of you who weren't born yet, in summer of 21, they were supposed to play at the Lake Tahoe Outdoor Arena at Harvey's, which I've been to. I've seen shows there. It's really cool being right there. But there were wildfires, and then it was we were already doing rescheduled shows from the pandemic, and then this happened, and it was what the fuck are they going to do? And then it was all right, they're going to play at Shoreline. What's going to happen? Everyone's going to be out of whack and all out of sorts, and who knows what's going to happen. And then they open the second set with Soul Planet and play one of the longest jams of their career into the final hurrah. Just what an amazing set, and what a monumental accomplishment, I think. Just rerouting the tour to just play a show, let the show must go on, and then they just deliver that, and then it's just phenomenal. So
that was thrilling when it was happening live. Yeah. That was thrilling.
It really was.
That falls in the category of shows I was supposed to go to. I had tickets to Tahoe, and then as we approached it, I was like, there's no way I can go to Tahoe, come home, have 15 people come to my house, do the dicks thing. And so I made the responsible decision, and I was texting with a friend of the pod, Ben Greenfield. Multiple shout outs here, Ben. I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
And they were I don't know, 36 minutes into the Soul Planet. And we were we fucked up, didn't we? But then he and I saw Chula a couple months later. So everything was good. That is an excellent show. There's a lot of 2021 love happening in this draft. I'm curious for you guys, do you think that we would think of West Coast Phish the way that we are talking about it right now if what happened in 2021 and 2023 out west didn't happen?
I think so.
But yeah. Go ahead, RJ.
Well, only because of what I said before, which is I think the best shows in all these regions really on paper maybe are all 92, 93, pre just in 1.0, say, for simplicity's sake. There are some that are like the ones you guys have picked that are amazing, but it was just, it's been amazing the whole time, I guess is my point.
Yeah, it has been.
I mean, that's the whole, I wanted to go to school out west to see the Grateful Dead out there. And then when I couldn't, I was at least glad I got to see Phish out west, even though I did not hit a lot of great shows. I still had a great time. But there's just something special about when Phish is very far from home. It's just like when you're traveling far from home, there's just something magical. Everything feels so special. Time slows down. Just good shit.
Yeah, and when they get out west, like especially when the weather's nice, there's just like a feeling of seeing Phish out there that it's a quieter vibe, and then when they deliver, like the fans are right there paying attention. Other than when they're at the Forum. The Forum is the weirdest Phish environment I've ever seen, I've ever experienced in my life. It is like a bizarro MSG.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would assume.
I remember when I saw them at the Greek in fall 95, it was so weird to be, that was the first time, one of the first shows I'd seen out there. And it was just weird to be out west and have the weather be so nice. And there was all of these, there's MTV had a crew there, and it just felt very California. And I was just the whole time just kind of like, wow. And it was like you were in a forest, but you're in a city. I don't know. It was just an incredible, incredible vibe. So different from East Coast Phish. I miss it.
Very.
I was thinking about this earlier, just listening to some of the LA shows, but I think like if you think about it, really, it was like Colorado first, and then California, and then up to Oregon and
Yeah.
Washington were like the first two real like fan base outposts outside of the Northeast. I think it's still awesome. I mean, going to Bill Graham and going to the Chase Center and seeing shows more recently at those venues, like the vibe is still awesome.
Yeah, I got to do that soon.
Bill Graham is like it's possibly like the most vibey shows I've ever seen, because it's like in this place that's just still unbelievable. Played so many good shows.
They're
I love San Francisco.
returning. They're returning there this year, right? That's part of this tour?
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 nights. It's gonna
Wow.
be crazy.
it's gonna be awesome.
Some awesome
And it's-
stuff happened at Bill Graham.
Yeah, and it's not very big. Especially
No.
especially compared to Chase Center. Which was fine, but also bad. For reasons. But
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Megan.
Okay,
you have one
well-
more pick, RJ.
Wait.
No,
I
that was
thought
his
I did-
second.
Yeah, I did too.
He did
Excuse
too.
me. My mistake. I'm sorry.
I'll take another
I'm
if
sorry.
you want.
No, no,
I'll
no, no,
just
no,
Don't
close
make
it
me
out.
lose.
9/12/99 and 8/31/21.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
So I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm so glad this show is still on here, because if I lost this one, I would have really been nervous about my list. I'm actually going to go 1.0 wild card, and I'm going to pick a show that has an unbelievable split open and mount the first set, but I just spun the second set today, and my God, this tweezer, I'm picking 12194 from Salem, because
Mhm.
this tweezer into the Norwegian wood, into big black furry creature from Mars, just that whole section is incredible. There's like a point in that tweezer, maybe like a few minutes before he does the Norwegian wood section, that is so cool. It's so layered. It's so sophisticated. And I really wanted to have something from fall 94 on here. So I love how dramatic this jam is.
That was my next 1.0 pick.
I was really nervous that you were going to pick it, and I was like, I am fucked. But I'm glad you didn't. Thank you.
Good pick.
Thanks.
That's a great pick. I was considering that next. I actually really, really like that you noticed I have one Oregon pick left, and you decided to take an Oregon show in a wild card segment. That is some down and dirty playing. I like it.
I
Well
actually
done,
didn't
Meg.
notice that, but I did think you were going to draft this show.
Yeah, no,
earlier.
that's a great pick. The boys can
Thank you.
complain, but there's a reason Meg wins these.
Oh,
We know it.
wow.
We know it.
Oh, thank God
She's
I
like
got
the
this show.
Draymond Green of our draft league. It's amazing stuff. I
I don't know
I
what that
approve.
means, but
That was
but I,
my Megan. That was my debate. It was between 9/12/99 and 12/1/94.
yeah,
Those
I
were
was
the
so
two.
relieved that you didn't take it, because I did not know what I was going to take for 1.0 then. Because my other two were already picked. They were Evergreen and the Eureka. So if I didn't get Eureka in 92 or Anaconda, like I was going to take one of those two in
Yeah.
my 1.0 or the Evergreen, but I wanted this show, so I was phew. I can breathe again.
huge Meg slander, apparently.
Why? What's
Wow.
who's Draymond?
Chat is blowing up. He's an NBA player for the Golden State Warriors.
And he's not good.
Well, it would define good.
He's good.
Well,
wins.
what
He's
was your
won 4
comp meant to be
titles.
then?
He's a little dirty, and he tells it like it is. And he doesn't fuck around. And he's just dedicated to winning. This is like a compliment. What are you asking for of me, huh?
I'm asking for an explanation because someone's saying it was slander, so I didn't know.
He's a controversial figure in the NBA, just like
Is he
you're
a pop song
controversial one.
or?
Not at all? No,
No.
he is as indie rock as it gets.
Okay, well then maybe I like him.
I have almost abandoned my basketball team for the Golden State Warriors because I just want to win, and I just want winning to happen, and so he's one of the reasons that they win. Win at all costs type of guy is what Justin Bruce says. Justin Bruce knows his stuff.
Yep.
All right. Do you have anything more you want to say about 12-194? It's an excellent show, and I think you should be very proud of that pick.
Thanks, I am. Yeah, I know it fucking rules.
Strategy
Listen to
is
that
brilliant,
jam.
Meg. Jesus, the strategy
Thanks.
is amazing. My God. All right. This simplifies things a little bit for me, okay?
Okay.
Because it complicates a little bit too. So you guys took my number 1 and my number 3 pick in Oregon. Time will tell if I should have jumped at 9/12/99 earlier. I think my only slight regret about going with what I'm going to go with is that it makes my draft very 4.0 heavy. But why would anyone complain about being 4.0 heavy? Just
4.0
jaded
's
vets would
the
complain
best.
about it. So I had this show on my list to listen through because I remembered liking it. It has my favorite jam of the entirety of 2021. And that is 10/20/2021 from Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. And I was kind of like, is it just about the Ruby Waves? And then I listened back to it. It is not. This has a Mr. Completely opener, an energy into timber. This was the first energy since Mexico 2020. So the first one of 4.0. Very rare song. Fan favorite, Casual Enlightenment. This has Split Open and Melt into End of Session, back into Split Open and Melt to close the set.
That shit was cool.
That shit was very cool. And then it has an absolutely stunning Ruby Waves and a very underrated, very, very overlooked Golden Age that I would encourage anyone out there who is like, this show's just about one jam. What's up, bro? To be like go and listen to that Golden Age, man. It's amazing stuff. So does this make me a little bit too 4.0 heavy here? Maybe. Do I care right now? No, I feel pretty good about everything. So I'm going 10/20/2021. You guys' thoughts? Anyone cool with that? Anyone upset about that?
That was on my list. I don't get upset when people choose things that were on my list. It's simply how a draft works. And when you draft, some of the things that you want, you don't get, and then some of the things that you do want, you do get. So to me, I'm like, you guys know me. I'm pretty balanced about the whole thing, and I'm happy for you.
Very balanced.
Most especially, I'm just happy for you.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. I need you to be happy for me. That's something important to me. All right.
All right.
I got one more pick.
Oh no, you're not done. You'll have one more left.
I'll have one more left. So can you guys talk while I figure out what I'm going to do next? Thank you.
So
yeah, go ahead, RJ.
Megan, with the wild cards. So you have one of your 2 wild cards, but did you have a wild card strategy, or were you just looking at shows that you had not chosen that you wanted in some way or another?
Yeah, I did have a strategy. I have a strategy for everything, RJ, but no, I'm just kidding. For the 1.0, I felt like well, for both of them, I don't know. I think for 1.0, there was only a few that I really felt like that wouldn't be picked outside already. So I felt like I wanted to get that first. Since you've both picked in Washington, which is to me a more narrow category, that's not maybe where I'm going to win this draft. So I'm less concerned about it. But I really felt like I needed a good 1.0 wild card. So that's why I picked it first. But usually what I'll do is I put the shows that I might not pick first in the other categories into my wildcard categories, and then go there only if I feel like I'm light on the board. Also, I felt like I wanted something else. I wanted a 94 show on this, on my list. So I felt like I had to pick there. Yeah. But like, I'm not sure if I'll go to Washington or to wildcard next. I'm unsure about it. Do you intentionally pick those last?
No.
You didn't do that on purpose?
I'm only asking you because I literally haven't thought about it until right now. So I'm hoping that you'll help me figure it out.
I don't even want to tell you how much time I spend thinking about these drafts. It is embarrassing. And
no, it's not.
I spend a lot of time.
Yeah, because this is really important stuff.
Yeah, I care about it a lot.
This defines you, you know?
Yeah, I know. I got to do good at the drafts.
In many ways, it'll define you more than maybe anything else in your life.
I mean, potentially. We'll see. It's not over yet.
God, I hope not. Really, this is on my draft winner. HF draft winner. Yeah,
it really just depends on your next pick whether you'll be remembered for this or not.
Exactly. We'll see.
I mean,
Brian, what do you?
I went and saw Citizen Kane last night in theaters.
Oh yeah, how was that?
And it was incredible. I hadn't seen it in 2 years. First time ever seeing it in theaters. But you know, the big question everyone asks when he dies basically alone. And he drops this snow globe and just says Rosebud.
Yeah.
And that happens in the first 30 seconds of the movie. Jesus Christ. The whole movie's about his life after that. Still 30 seconds. Literally was named the #1 movie of all time in like 1998. If you haven't seen Citizen Kane.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Sorry, please proceed. Another joke. But, you know, everyone's wondering who is Rosebud? What is Rosebud? And none of the characters ever find out. It's we are the only ones that know. And so, you know, maybe in 40, 50, 60 years, who knows how long we're going to be living by the time we all die. I'm sure we'll hit 120. Meg will be, you know, lying there and she'll drop a piece of paper that will have a bunch of scratched out dates that people are like, why is she writing stuff from the late 20th century? What is going on? What do these mean? And someone will find that podcasts were once a thing. You used to be able to say whatever you wanted across the airwaves. And this is what we chose to say. And it meant a lot to her that she got 7/15/98 in Oregon when nobody else had picked in Oregon. You know, just amazing stuff.
Oh, that is such shade. Oh my God, Brian. Oh my God.
Let's go.
Right,
unbelievable. I'm happy with my list, just FYI.
Pick it up.
I'm happy with your list too. I'm happy with everyone's list.
If you don't pick.
No, you're not.
All right, Brian is going to take.
So something very. I feel very blessed right now. My #2 shows in 2 categories are left, and I've had to debate which one I'm going to take. And I think I'm going to go with my gut here. This is every one of my drafts has to have a 85 whipping post type of pick. It's just my brand.
Yeah, it does.
Love it.
You fuckers out there can either vote for it or you can vote for, you know, the best shows, whatever you want. Like this show, people
true. He's right. I did get robbed.
I'm pretty sure that's like the only draft I've won. So can you guys just like let me enjoy that one draft that we had? That was a lot of fun for me. All right. So this is a show that I think must be released. Must be released.
That narrows it down.
I don't know why this show has
RJ's
yet to be
cracking me up
released.
today.
We just got a fire relief show that was released that I think was quite good. 5/16/94, quite a good show, really fun
Mhm.
second set. But I think that this would have been the better Southern California, Los Angeles show to pick. So I'm going to go with it. And that is 12/1/1996.
Wow.
Hmm.
Let me just read to you guys quickly the set list because I have the microphone. This is set 1. Peaches, Poor Heart, Cavern, Cars, Trucks, Buses, all with the fade in. Tons of energy. And then character 0, what is at the end of the set? What's going on here? No, because then we go to the set opener midway through the first set. The curtain into disease, train song, horse, silent, sample, antelope. And it's a big antelope. It's a killer antelope. But then here's the second set. This is where the magic really happens. Tweezer with the wah ending, sparkle, simple, into a day in the life, killer Reba, swept away, steep, Tweezer reprise in the middle of the set. What's going on here? Johnny Be Good, Slave to the Traffic Light, Highway to Hell. Put that show out and you will get so many new live Phish subscribers. You guys won't have to put out Big Cypress until like the 24th century. Like, come on, this stuff is incredible. At the UCLA basketball gym, amazing stuff. I'm so stoked to have gotten this. Thank you guys for leaving it for me. Thank you all to all my heads out there who understand. I don't know if this is going to win me or lose me anything, but I'm here for it.
Interesting. I did not have this on my short list. I want to look it up.
Well,
I feel like
you should have. I really feel like you should have.
See, you learned something.
I
I
think-
was at this show, turns out.
Well, no, I think you would have enjoyed this show.
I think I did enjoy the show at the time, but I don't have a single memory from being at the show. Isn't that so weird? I don't think that would ever happen to you, Brian, but it does happen to me.
No,
and
I
it did.
unfortunately remember all of my shows, including the ones I wish I didn't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and recheck the show out. It's been a long time since I listened to the show.
It's an amazing show. So
Yeah, I
much
like
energy,
this.
so intense. It's so good.
Yeah, this was a fun run. I did the Daly City show, the Arco Arena show, the UCLA show. And then I guess I went back to Tucson because then I went back up for the Aladdin Theater show in Vegas. So, which was unbelievable. But I don't know what I did in between. I think I went back to Tucson, but it seems like a really long way to go. But I think I did it. Or I just stayed
Really
on the
gotta-
road. Who knows? I have no memory.
We got to shout out EV Dude here who says that we're channeling the spirit of 11/17/73, one of the great sandwich sets in a tour of sandwich sets by the Grateful Dead. I feel like I would just like to hang out and do back and forth music recs with EV Dude. I think it'd be a great
Yeah, right?
hang. I think that he would recommend something great, and then I would recommend something hopefully great, and then he would recommend something really great, and then I'd recommend something hopefully great, and I'd have a good time. That would be killer.
You guys could really vibe it out.
Megan.
So that's it. Meg, you got
Wait, I thought you
your
had two, Brian. No?
penultimate pick. Yep, I picked 10/20/2021
Oh,
and
okay.
12/1/1996.
I'm sorry. I should have been getting ready. Okay, so I have
Ev
might need
Dude,
a minute, but-
sorry. Ev Dude.
Ev Dude.
Come on, you guys
I
are
feel
going to be
bad that
like,
we've been saying it wrong for so long.
if you guys are going to be great friends, you got to at least get his name right. Come on.
Yeah, for real, Bri.
Come on.
Okay, so I have Washington and 2.0, 4.0 wild card.
Okay, good. That actually means that's good for me because you can't pick what I'm going to pick next. So great.
Yeah.
Have
yeah.
fun.
Thanks. I don't really know where to go here for a minute. I need a minute to think.
Okay.
Brian. Go ahead.
RJ.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you were about to say.
I was just going to riff until I found something to say. So if you have an actual question that's ready, go ahead.
Now that we're getting toward the end, which of the categories do you think is the least strong? Like, where do you think the least strong shows are? If you had to take one of these groups of shows and never listen to them again, which would it be?
Based on our picks or based on what is already established?
Based on what you were looking at the beginning before we drafted, like when you were looking at the list of regions or states, which one would you
I
take
think
off the
it's
table first?
I think it's Oregon, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember when I lived in Oregon, looking at Phish's shows in Oregon and being like, man, no wonder they haven't been here since the late 90s. Like
Yeah.
it just is not a real like, historical hotspot for them. I do want to just shout out really quickly before Meg goes. There is one jam in particular that nearly swayed my picks and would have destroyed my entire draft. I admit it fully, but this is for fodder for the people out here. 10-17-14 from Eugene, Oregon. Tour opener, not a great show, some good moments, but one of them in particular is maybe my favorite jam from 2014, and that is the Cross-Eyed and Painless, which I would encourage anyone out there, if they have not listened to it. I don't want to know what chords Trey is playing, but I've never heard anything like it during the back end of the Cross-Eyed and Painless. And when he starts singing, Still Waiting over those chords, it's like the eeriest 4:00 in the morning vibe that you can get in that song. I'm so into it. And so I'd encourage anyone out there, if you haven't heard the 10-17-14 Cross-Eyed in a while or ever, please do.
That's good. Thank you for that filler.
Thanks,
Megan,
everybody. I'm ready.
Are you
Yeah,
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Meg's ready.
I'm ready. I don't know. I really tossed and turned over this one, but I'm going to go with my 2.0 to 4.0 wild card. And I'm going to go with a venue that we were just speaking of. I'm going to go with 8-19-12 from Bill Graham.
Great pick.
And this first set is great. It's cohesive. It's energetic. You've got some cool moments of intrigue and like Back on the Train. Another great Rogue for all my Rogue heads out there. Set closing Bowie. But obviously it's that second set. It's that first hour that is just pure magic. The Cross-Eyed Light, Sally Cross-Eyed. I've listened to it a few times this week and it's so great. It's so fucking good. And a Ride, Captain Ride reprise encore. That is another way to do an encore. Just do that. They could have done that. Mondegreen would have been cool.
You just gave our listeners a bingo, a full bingo, I think, based on the
full
chat.
bingo right there. You did it.
Yeah?
I was actually wondering if Brian talking about a movie was on the bingo card, because it should have been. I know that me saying wow was on the bingo card, which I just said recently without thinking about it.
Stop.
And Meg
What
talking
else?
about Mondegreen.
Yay. Did it.
Yeah,
there was
it
some
was.
other, what else was it?
I'm going back up here.
Wait, I didn't see that. Tell me, what was the bingo list? This is so funny.
I'm trying to find it, but there's a lot of Draymond Green content in here. Okay. Hating on Rogue. Oh no, wait, hold on. Here we go. Meg getting confused about a 3-person snake draft was on my bingo card. Hating on Rogue. So close to bingo. Need an RJ wow, and I've got a line. Monda hate is the center square.
Oh my god.
So Monda hate.
So good.
EC,
I will
Brian
say,
bringing
I
up
feel
a
like
bingo.
I
on
actually
there.
get the snake draft now. Like for sure, I get it. I'm so proud. So that's gonna have to go off the bingo card because I fucking
We'll
get it
see.
now somehow.
We'll see.
Can I tell you guys about another movie I watched?
Of course.
Just really quick. I just watched this.
Sure.
It's called Hardcore. It stars George C. Scott. It's from 1979. He plays a conservative Midwestern father from Grand Rapids who lets his daughter go on a church trip to Southern California.
Oh,
And she
sounds just like my
disappears.
life.
Well, she disappears from the trip and she gets caught up in the LA independent porno scene in the mid 70s. And she goes missing for 5 months. And George C. Scott goes out to California and turns into a private investigator to hunt his daughter down. It's fucking awesome. It's
Wow.
like so good. The music is amazing. There's so many. He and a he and this one woman who was in a film with his daughter. They end up going searching for her, and the two of them getting these crazy conversations about religion and culture and sex. And it is like deep, crazy, wild, intense movie making that like I'd never heard of until I watched this movie. I cannot recommend it enough.
Wait, I gotta see it. What year is it from?
1979. It's on
Yeah, I
Tubi.
love.
So if you search for it on your Apple TV, you'll just have to download the free Tubi app and you can
Oh,
watch it.
really? I feel like
Yeah.
any movie from like 78 to 83, I'm guaranteed to love it.
That's your zone.
It's my zone.
That's your zone.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Do it. All right.
I just
I'm
want to
up.
say Rogue is not growing on me. Just to be clear, people are asking if it's not growing on me. I'm just noting some good versions that were in these shows, but it's definitely not growing on me. Not even close.
Noted.
Well,
All right. I have a difficult decision to make here.
wait, is it your turn, Brian?
Yep. That's how a snake draft works, RJ.
I don't know that that's true.
I thought you just picked twice.
You picked twice, and then
Brian.
Megan picked.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah. How does
totally
a
my
snake
bad.
draft work?
I was
I'm
wondering
confused this time.
if I was going and then Meg was going to go and then RJ had 2 turns, but RJ has 2 turns now and then Meg and then me. Okay. I might actually be fucked here. Okay. Go ahead.
This is all gonna, I have my wild card picks left only, and this is gonna, screw me over in the voting. But I'm not here to win. I'm here to pick shows that are close to my heart. So I'm just gonna
Content, baby.
keep.
I love that, RJ.
I'm just gonna keep going. So with my 1.0 wild card, I'm gonna take 322.93 from Sacramento, because this is obviously a full Gamehenge performance, the first one since 91. But in the first set, first of all, this is another one that the tape cover is still on my wall. This is like, if you're going to get a show with Gamehenge, you're either going to get the Game Hoist 94 show, or you're going to get the 93 show. And this was a day before my birthday in 93, which I wasn't there, and I was only 14, but still important to me. The first set has a great Reba, and it has the, like, of course, that tour spring 93, it's got a great first set with just like a lot of classics, but then the narration, it all works really well. It's a Monday night show, and they just like they did it, and they pulled it off perfectly, and it's a great, like, the whole package is there. It's a great show. So that's my 1.0 wild card.
I'm glad we have a Gamehenge on here.
It's a good pick. We did a podcast 3 years ago. Meg, do you recall about that show?
Probably not.
I do.
Probably 3
It's in a
years ago.
spreadsheet somewhere,
Wow. Yeah, exactly. I think
Do you guys want to tell me more about it?
I was
Brian,
in
will you remind me?
I was on spring break in Missoula, Montana, and I told my family I got to go back and record, and they were not very happy about it. But I got to talk about Gamehenge with Meg. It was a killer time. I don't know where RJ was, probably doing something really cool. Awesome
Few
show.
years ago, where Brian and I just had to hold down the fort for many, 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 many episodes.
We kept this show. We kept this show alive.
You really did.
We really did. It would just
really
be me
proud
and
of you guys.
Brian, just like, having a chat. It was great.
Talked about every track on the Victor disc multiple times. It was very cool stuff.
It's really cool. I'm glad Meg was able to teach you about that during those
Me
times.
too.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was blown away.
Really great. Okay. This one is hard, I think. Maybe it's not for other people, but you guys, you have probably the best 2.0 to 4.0 wild card that's available, I think, out of all these.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think I'm just gonna go with again, just the shows that bring me joy, and we'll just see what happens.
Do it, RJ. Do what makes you happy.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take 8-4-13 from Bill Graham.
Good call. Good
Yeah.
One of my favorite second sets of that entire year. You could tell that they were just moving toward this, like, I don't know, another like resurgence, which I think that fall was it. But the Energy Jam and then that Runaway Gym is just amazing. I remember getting like the next day listening to this and just being blown away. I mean, that whole 3-show run was pretty good, but I think this show is what really like sold it for me of the whole tour. I think that whole tour was just, I'd seen some shows earlier in the tour, but they get stronger and stronger as they went on, and I think that Energy Runaway Gym combo is some of the best stuff that they've done. And then into Carini, into the Wedge. I mean, it's a great show.
It's an amazing show. It's an
It's a
amazing
cool
show.
set list.
I think one more show after that, and then the Dick's 13 run, which was awesome. I feel like this was just when they were just about there. So
Yeah.
I love going back to it.
This is on level with the fall tour. Like this show could have fit in really nicely in that fall tour. Just amazing stuff. I was on my list.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And Ev Dude says he can say it RIP to 731.97. That was on my list too.
Yeah.
On my list too.
I knew I wasn't going to take it because I was taking 730. And so I wasn't going to have those two. But yeah, what a killer show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing show. I almost took that as my 1.0 wild card. It was that and 12-196. I guess you don't win points for almost, but I'm just going to put it on the record.
I think you should. All right. Well, that's it. Let me look at my list real quick. Yep. Looks good. Okay, great.
Oh, you're done, RJ?
Yeah. You're almost done. You're going to be done in 1 minute.
Yeah, I am. I feel like this is a hard choice because I don't know. I feel like this category is a little thin as well, Washington. And I only left it because you had both picked there and I wasn't worried about it, like losing something. But I'm going to pick something. I don't know if you guys are going to be into this pick, but I really love this show. I'm going to pick 7/22/18 from the Gorge.
Great call.
I think this show fucking rules. It has like a cool Wombat Jam. It's set one. But the second set, the cross-eyed that opens is almost 20 minutes and it has like epic soundscapes, synths, drama. It's really got that like Baker's Dozen inspired ambient stuff. And then the twist is everyone is delivering so hard in this. Mike sounds amazing. And then a great segue into Waves. I love Waves too. I just think they should play that song more. I just think it's a perfect set listing, killer jams, and major flow in set two. So that's my last choice.
That's a great pick.
I
think that second set is absolutely perfect. I think that is a top 5 show of 2018. I was strongly considering taking that in my 2.0 to 4.0 wild card. This simplifies things a little bit for me. Awesome pick. Great pick.
That was
I feel really good.
That was the second. That would have been my next one, also in that category.
Definitely does a good job making up for your 7/15/98 pick. Really,
I stand by that pick. I stand by that pick. If there's, I still think it's a great show and a great pick, and I'm super happy with my list.
Do you know why I didn't pick it, Meg?
Why?
Because I had to take my son to the dentist today, and I ran out of time, and I only got to listen to the first set, and so I didn't think it was fair to myself to pick it based on the first set. But any show that starts with the curtain width is just like an automatic.
So good, right?
And then you get the Birds and Birds combo, which is awesome. And then I texted you guys about Waiting All Night. That's the show I was listening to. That first set is really awesome. And the Wombat in the first set, the Jam is great. Into Tila. The first set is great, but I didn't get to revisit the second set. So I didn't feel comfortable drafting it, but I probably should have. So
it's so good.
I vividly remember. I got one more pick. I almost went to.
I meant that was it in terms of my comments on that
Oh,
particular
chef. Sorry. I thought you were trying to end the draft.
No, I
one-
just
one
wanted to say I'm done. Please proceed.
I almost went to the Gorge 2018, and then we realized it's about like a week trip to do a 3-night run at the Gorge because you have to like
Yeah.
either drive with camping gear or fly in and out of Seattle with camping gear. And I remember webcasting that show and just being like, okay, they've taken whatever happened last year at the Baker's Dozen and like diluted the sound in a way that I love, like just like
Ugh,
down to the core. Oh my God, that second set rules. That would have potentially been my pick, but I think I'm gonna own what I've already started here, which is a very 1.0 and 4.0 heavy list, which I think is in some ways reflective of Phish at their strongest in on the West Coast. And I have to give a nod to Spring 23, which was a top 25 tour, no matter what RJ says. And I think part of the reason it was a top 25 tour was because the penultimate show at the Hollywood Bowl end of the tour, Saturday, April 22nd, 2023, Ryan Russillo's first Phish show in 20 plus years. Listen to this first set, guys. Ghost into David Bowie, Esther into Harry Hood, into Meat, into Split Open and Melt, Leaves into Squirming Coil. I love
Zero
it.
Zero fucks for that. That's
I
such
love
a
it so
killer
much.
set list.
Hot, big songs, and then like two relatively new songs, relatively Meat and Leaves that like nobody would really ever pick, but always seem to work whatever show that they're in. Set 2 starts with one of my favorite jams of the year in the Chalk Dust Torture, a jam that I admittedly did not get. I thought it was a kind of a mess during the show. And then Justin Bruce, and shout out to good buddy John McGar, explained to me that the middle part of the jam is like Phish playing free jazz. And I was just like, okay, I get it. I hear it now. I hear it. And that Chalk Dust Torture I listen to all the time now. I love it. You get Chalk Dust into Twist, 2001 into Sally, Back on the Train, which they had this weird penchant to play late in second sets during that tour. I don't really understand why, but fine. A Life Beyond the Dream, First Tube, and then an Antelope Encore. No bullshit. Let's just, let's not fuck around. It's California. I thought this run 421 to 423 was outstanding. And I think this is a great show that had it been played in 2.0 or 3.0, I think would have been one of the bigger shows of those eras. So that is my last pick. 422, 23 Hollywood Bowl, 2.0 to 4.0 wild card. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm just glad that's the only show from that tour that's on here, right? From that run, which I'm happy about because like I want that represented. That was such a special West Coast run.
Yeah, I considered 417, but I take a little issue with the first set. The second set's amazing. This show to me this was the strongest show of the run, personally.
I don't think I've listened to this since we did our last project, so I need to go back. I need to go back and listen to all those from that tour.
I think you'd have fun listening to it.
I probably will. All right, Brian, do you want to give us a rundown? As has been our custom, we will put a little screenshot of our picks along with a form. You will be able to vote on who you think the winner is. And again, this is not for any reason other than to have fun and entertain you, our listeners. So
that's what we're here
please
for.
go to osirispod.com/draft. Not right now. If you're watching, don't do it now. If you're listening, do it now, and you can vote on who you think won. But wait until Brian tells you what we all chose.
I just want to address Ev Dude's comment here. 422 over 419. Yes, I think 419 is amazing. The Sea of Stars, the Set Your Soul Free. I thought the first set was a little uneven, which is part of the reason why I didn't pick it. Plus, RJ would never let me live it down if I drafted a show with a 46 days in it, which is why I had to let Megan draft 4/16/2021. All right. So 10/16, not 4/16. My goodness.
You're
And
out.
Brian-
You're
Wait,
out of it.
what?
And Brian, read all the set lists of all the shows selected. RJ, is
Oh
that
my
okay?
gosh.
Do it. Dare you?
All right.
See you an hour later.
So, my picks: Southern California, 10/23/2021; Northern California, 4/21/1992; Oregon, 10/20/2021; Washington, 11/30/94; 1.0 wild card was 12/1/96; 2 to 4.0 wild card was 4/22/2023. Megan selected 7/30/97 in Southern California, 10/16/21 in Northern California, 7/15/98 in Oregon, 7/22/18 in Washington, 12/1/94 in the 1.0 wild card, and 8/19/12 in the 2 to 4.0 wild card. And RJ went with 4/16/92 in Southern California, 8/31/21 in Northern California, 9/12/99 in Oregon, 7/17/98 in Washington, 3/22/93 in the 1.0 wild card region, and 2.0 to 4.0 wild card. He selected 8/4/13. Some really great draft picks from everyone here. I had a lot of fun. No animosity. We just did a great job. I hope you guys are as happy as I am right now.
I'm so happy. I feel like this is pretty close to my list that I wanted. And I also am going to try to, I'll put any of these that are on Live Fish, I'll make a playlist.
Hmm.
So, and I'll put that out for everybody so that you can listen to all these shows that are on Live Fish in one playlist. So I'll try to do that and get that out really soon.
Nice.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, right? To have all these shows in one playlist.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the
That's
fun,
it.
guys. It's all about
Yeah.
the fun.
We could put all of
Um,
these shows in a playlist if all of them were officially released.
Yeah,
I know.
that's true.
This is
That's
a good
true.
place to start for people if they need ideas for what should be released. We have
Yeah.
so
That's
many
true.
ideas.
We got a lot of ideas, and they're not going to stop. So if you think we're out of ideas, think again.
Think again.
We got plenty more. Okay, so Brian, can I
RJ.
can I say something?
You can say whatever you want.
That's awesome. Okay, so well, first of all, remember, go to osirispod.com/draft, and you can vote on the winner of this draft, which we will report officially next week on the pod. Next week we are going, if you can believe it, we are going back to Mount Rushmore, and we are gonna funk up Mount Rushmore next week.
It's Meg's week.
With Megan picking the MoMA Dance Mount Rushmore, and it's going to be great as always. The list is already set up. You can vote on your own. Go to osirispod.com/Rushmore.
My
and
God,
you
RJ,
can,
you're so on top of it.
You can vote. That's the name of the game. Name of the game in the content world. Gotta be on top of it. Megan, how are you feeling about the job that you have to do?
I'm so excited. I mean, this is like my silly Instagram handle. Like, this is who I am. I love the MoMA Dance, and I'm super excited that we get to talk about all the best versions, and I get to spend a week just like living my funk dreams. It's the best.
Brian, you compiled the list. There are more versions than there were of rock and roll, but not a ton. How do you feel about the list that you put together that we have to choose from? Do you have any commentary on it?
I feel great. I think that one thing I recognized with putting together this list is that with like some of these songs that we've done, the best versions are in expected eras. I think one of the things that makes MoMA Dance really interesting is that you get a lot of really solid versions in the eras you would expect it to be very solid, but the great versions tend to come in very strange eras in Phish history, and it adds to a really unique jamming style. I'm really excited to see where Megan goes. I've got my list already. I've had it for months now, so I'm ready to go.
Show off.
We could just end this and start that, and I'd be happy. But if we need a week off to do that, that's totally fine. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I need some time. This draft took a lot of time for me, so I need some time to watch some movies and maybe listen to something else. But yeah, I'm
Just watch
excited to get into
hardcore.
MoMA. Yeah, I will.
Just so you guys know, we're gonna do
Watch The Player as well. My God, that is a 5-star masterpiece. The Player, guys.
Which one first? Which one first?
The Player. The Player is like one of the best movies I saw all year.
I
got it on the
might watch
list.
a movie tonight.
I told everybody in my house. Brian said it's a 5-star masterpiece. There's nothing we can do about it. And everyone was like, okay. Don't know what you're talking about.
I would love for you to watch it. And I think you would love this movie so much, RJ.
I'm going to watch it. I'm telling you, once it
It's
gets
got
on
an
the
RJ
list, it means
vibe.
it's going to happen. That's great. It's great. It must mean that's very nice and awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got MoMA Dance Mount Rushmore next week, and then we're going to be doing spring 2025 recaps.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah,
crazy.
we'll have back-to-back spring 2025 recaps, and then we'll be back on a tear with another Mount Rushmore coming out the gates. We got a lot coming up. We also have another draft. Yes, Perp,
Altman.
1992 Altman, starring Tim Robbins. It's amazing. We also have another draft that will be coming up in a couple of months. Should we preview that just to get people thinking?
If you want, I mean, it's your thing. I'm not going to,
This one I haven't even gotten my head around.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
overwhelmed by it already.
We are going to be drafting in early June, so we got some time. We are going to be drafting the top 25 Phish shows of the 21st century. So just get ready, guys. That's awesome. There's no wrong answers unless you pick a wrong answer. There's so many great options. Every single show since 2000 is available and on the table. I'm so excited for that one.
Wow, this will be my 4th year doing spring tour recaps with you guys.
Wow,
That's
There we go.
wild.
couldn't have imagined
There
it
we
without
go.
you.
Could not do any of this without you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw
It's
it in here since VT to boot mentioned it. Altman is a great director. I also watched California Split, which is one of the greatest dude hang movies of all time. I would encourage anyone to check that out as well. But we're not here to do movie drafts. Sean and Amanda haven't called me yet to do it. Maybe
yet.
someday we'll see.
That
Maybe
call is
someday.
going to come. It's so going to come.
See.
I just want to tell everyone also that we're now at this point we're doing weekly episodes of Library Card, which Megan is driving the hosting train, and we're having a lot of fun. We're doing short story. We're doing a short story next week. This week we already did a book called The Safe Keep, which we all loved. It's fun.
God, please read that book. Please read that book.
Yeah.
I actually went with my friend to the bookstore yesterday and put it in her hand, and she texted me this morning and was like, "Couldn't stop reading this last night." It's like, "You're welcome."
Yeah, look at that. So if
Yeah.
you like books at all and you like listening to us, then you will like Library Card. So find that where you get podcasts. Okay, so go to osirispod.com/draft to vote on this, and then go to osirispod.com/rushmore to vote on MoMA Dance. And we will see you next week.
Wait,
Take it easy, everybody.
wait.
No?
Perp has a great idea for a third podcast for us to start. I'm just going to say this on air. Okay. I'm just going to say this on air. RJ force fed me novels for like a couple of years and then was like, "Hey, you want to start a book podcast?" RJ, if I can do that, you can start watching one movie a week and we can do Blockbuster Card. That's all I'm going to say.
I love
Fine.
that.
love
And my friend Jamie dresses up as the Blockbuster girl when we go to shows sometimes. She was the Blockbuster girl with me one day at Mondegreen, and it was so fun. She was going up to people and asking them their Blockbuster stories, and we
Oh my
recorded
God.
them, and it was
God.
so fun. So she could be our mascot if we decide to do it. I'm here for the Blockbuster Card. It's a great
Let's
name.
go. Start
It's a
tomorrow.
great name.
Let's do.
My daughter just said to me yesterday, she was like, "How many times do you record a week now?" So
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd be psyched if I was like, "I'm also doing another one."
First blockbuster card is The Player. Second one is Hardcore. We're coming with some crazy stuff, guys.
All right.
Third one, Handmaiden.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm
Let's
down.
go.
I'm very down.
I
All
mean,
right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
You've already watched one. It's perfect,
Yep.
RJ.
Yep. All right. So now can I do the ending?
Yes,
Do
yes.
it.
It's almost 2
great.
hours. We should go.
Okay. Here, let me just think about what I was saying. Okay, so go to those places to vote, and we'll see you next week. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Thanks, guys.